Hello and welcome to another edition of the Liberty Downbeat. I am your host Lawrence Lee and welcome to the show. Tonight we're getting started with, so I got a few things on my mind, and I'm going to start with a quote tonight that I heard today, and it gave me a little bit of inspiration. It was by, the quote is from Iaccoca, who was the leader in the auto industry back in the 80s. If you don't know who he is, look him up. But it's Larry Sharp, the libertarian candidate for governor, that put this out there today. It just gave me some inspiration on, and kind of gave me that feeling, Here's the quote. It says, "You can't have brilliant ideas. You can have brilliant ideas, but if you can't get them across, your ideas won't get you anywhere." So, this is hard for me. I'm not a natural spokesperson or even a speaker of anything. I'm very very touchy when it goes. I have to think about everything I say, and if I don't, I usually have run-on sentences. But that's what it says. It says you can have brilliant ideas, but if you can't get them across, your ideas won't get you anywhere. And that's what I'm trying to do here. This is what all the show is all about. It's about getting ideas across, and hopefully getting a message across, and maybe coming up with better ideas. But starting the show out tonight. Let's see, where do I want to go first? Night, I think I'll lead. Not with that. We'll lead with a friend of mine posted had a post on Facebook this morning, and it caught my eye, and I started thinking about it. It made me start thinking about some things. He said, how many get a message from town hall telling you your representative wants to hear from you? Who out there actually gets a message every now and again? I mean, even if you put yourself on an email list, you actually get an email saying, we're talking about this particular issue. Would you like to have some input on this, or would you rather would you want to put some input on this, or would you like to hear what we got on our plate? And maybe you should maybe you could do it. Maybe you could want to get some input, and we can work together on this. You never get that, do you? No, I don't. I mean, last time I got on the email list was when one of the candidates was campaigning. Got on their email list, and they gave me something. They gave me all the ideas they wanted to do, and didn't ask me for my input. Just said, this is what we want to do, and we're gonna have this nice nice pamphlet type mail laminated, and probably cost a whole lot to print out, and probably sent them to everybody mailbox around here around election time last time. But not one of them asked me, what would I think of their ideas, or what do you think their ideas are? What do you think the ideas would do for you? Or I'd like to hear your input. But they say that it's on there, but you go and email them, you get a canned response or automated response or another robocall. So that's just about the extent of how much input they really want from you. So I mean, there's better ways to do this. I mean, they could accept the emails. I mean, yeah, they get the emails, and sometimes they do write back, I guess. But I've rarely seen it from now a local representative, you might get some emails back, but if you go to the state level, or especially if you go even up even further up, like the national level, you just might as well forget it. You're not going to get anything back. And if you do, it must be you must be a lucky one. So because I know I don't. So, but all I get is a lot of canned stuff. They also plan these meetings. They do want feedback sometimes, but they want them at 3 o'clock in the afternoon during the week, middle of the day, when you're not available to go do anything. Here's my idea. You could respond to the emails, send out polls that could gauge what your idea is. Maybe it's maybe it's a good idea, and see if it's a bad idea according to the people that respond to your poll. I mean, they do respond to polls, but they're generated by the media, which is kind of slighted. I mean, kind of isn't quite the word for it. It's very slighted. What you need is an honest poll, a poll that you really can get across to your constituents. And if you really have to have a meeting, if you really want to have a meeting, it's hard for people to get to meetings. I mean, honestly, it really is. I mean, I know that no matter how hard I try, how much I want to, sometimes I can't just make a meeting. I mean, it's very hard for me to make meetings. I mean, I have family that's needing my attention quite a bit. So very rare can I get away to actually go to a meeting. But you can't get to a meeting in the middle of the day, and if you're having it at 6 o'clock, that's dinner time. At least in my house it is. And then by that time you can't make the meeting. So I mean, you can put some meetings on weekends, but people do things on weekends too. So I'd say polls, emails, get some ideas of what your constituents are doing. Your voting republic is doing for you. But anyhow, that's just my spiel on it. But I just feel that there is a better way, and it should be utilized. But that's, again, just my opinion. Okay, so moving on. The opioid epidemic. I touched on this the other day, talking about with the money and where all the money goes with law enforcement and stuff like that, where it could be used to help with the opioid epidemic. Well, Tulsi Gabbard, I think she's the representative for Hawaii. She said today the opioid crisis is the worst drug epidemic in the country's history. We cannot allow Big Pharma to delay congressional action any longer. Well, here's my thoughts on that. Big Pharma. Big Pharma, it puts out these drugs. I mean, it puts out all these opioid drugs. I looked up a list of them, and I've actually had to have, I think, one of these drugs. I don't know if it's the actual drug I had, but I think it was like one of the drugs that I had a root canal, and I had to pull a tooth. And I won't go into details, but anyhow, they gave me this drug, and it made me feel good. It's like, okay, I don't feel so bad. When I came off of it, man, I felt like death. I mean, it was really just awful how I felt. And I felt depressed and just, just like, and I really had to wean myself off this thing, because it was, if I only stayed on it like a couple of days. And this stuff was addictive, and it made me feel better when I was on it, but I felt like death when I came off of it. I felt just depressed, and it was awful. It was an awful feeling. And I can't say it enough that it was just an awful feeling. Well, anyhow, this is what they prescribe for you to kind of deal with pain and stuff like that. So, I mean, you're dealing with pain. And you just got to work your way through it. But the pharmaceuticals, they have prescribed this stuff to do that. And the doctors prescribe it, and people get hooked on it. And then they can't stop. And it's really bad. But blaming Big Pharma, I don't know if we could really blame them for it, because it's actually just drugs they come up with to kind of ease the pain. That's, I mean, there's a lot of, if you want to talk about drugs being illegal and stuff like that, I mean, there's also marijuana that can help with pain too. So, I mean, but the thing is that marijuana is a lot less addictive, in my opinion. But they prescribe these opiates all the time. But to have congressional action over the issue, I'm just not sure, because if you attack big pharmaceuticals over, I mean, it's just like, what are they going to do? Find them? I mean, that's exactly what they're going to do. Find them, and then where's that money going to go? It's just amazing. I don't think that's the plan to get it. I think the way to alleviate the opiate epidemic is to go to the source, which is the people who are addicted. Not if you want if you want to go after the addiction, don't go after the pharmaceutical companies. I don't think that's going to solve the problem. I think that's just going to cause a big mess and stuff like that. You take it off the market, they're gonna need something. Maybe, well, I don't know. Maybe they could go to something else, But I could certainly use some input on this because I've been kind of kicking it around in my head today, and I'd really like to hear your input if you got any. So if you got some, leave them in the comments below, or hit me up. I got the Facebook, the Liberty Downbeat Facebook page. You can just go on there and click me an email, and maybe I'll respond. Maybe I'll have time to. We'll see what happens, but I look forward to hearing from you. But anyhow, that's what I got for that. I'm gonna move on to the last thing I got right now, and that's about movie time. Okay, so movie time. And movie time and Halloween, how they go together. You go see a movie, you really like the movie a lot, and your kids want to dress up for them for Halloween. Well, the movie came out earlier this year. Wanted to take my kids to see it. It was Moana. It was a good movie. I mean, I saw the previews. I didn't get to see the movie because my kids, they were less than thrilled to about another Hawaiian movie from Disney, because I think they saw like Lilo and Stitch a few years ago, but so I just they decided they didn't want to go see that, and so we didn't end up seeing it. But now there's some controversy over Moana. I mean, Moana seems like a real cool kind of really strong character, great, kind of reminds me like, I want to say like Robinson Crusoe, or the one that had Dick Van Dyke in it. There's a Disney movie too, I think. Please tell me what it was. I can't remember in my head right now. But it was an old movie, and it was about a strong woman, figures, and stuff like that. I thought it was a really cool, really cool movie back then. But I saw the previews for this, and I wanted to go see it. But get back to the point. There's controversy over it because little girls are wanting to dress up like her, and they think it's some kind of racism. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? I mean, how could that be? I mean, just because they want to dress up like a Hawaiian girl or a Polynesian girl, then that's somehow offensive, and it's just absolutely, it just blows my mind. I mean, if you next time a new Cars movie, if you dress up like a certain type of car, you're going to get mad about that too. I mean, it's just, I just find it amazing, because she's obviously a strong woman figure character. And here you are bashing anybody who wants to be like her. I mean, it blows my mind. But anyhow, that's pretty much all I got for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Leave some comments. Start up a conversation. I love to debate things. I'll be back. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow, and got one more for this week, and then I'll be out until next week. But looking forward to hearing from you, and you've been listening to the Liberty Downbeat, and I will hopefully talk to you again real soon.